Hello everyone, and welcome to Fountain Street Church. My name is Danny Heck, and I am both the AV coordinator at Fountain Street Church and the de facto chair of the Fountain Street Church Pride Circle. This, that you're watching right now, is Fountain Street Church's second annual Pride celebration. June is Pride Month. It's a time dedicated to celebrating and commemorating the lives and legacies of LGBTQIA+ folks the world over. Now obviously, Pride this year is really different than last year. In addition to a global pandemic upending life as we know it, we've also seen an unprecedented wave of demonstrations and protests against police violence towards Black Americans. Fountain Street Church is admittedly a predominantly white church, and the voices that you'll be hearing in today's event are reflective of that. But with that in mind, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our siblings of color from within the queer community and beyond, they need us to step up. Just as the police once stood in the way of queer liberation, so too do they now stand in opposition to racial justice. All queer Americans owe our progress as a community to the likes of Stormé DeLarvery, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, and countless other queer people of color who risked their lives and violently rioted against the police so that we could enjoy the rights and protections that we do today. It is our duty as a community to show up for our Black siblings, and we will have more on that later. But for now, take a deep breath, take a moment to breathe. It's deep stuff. I am glad that you've joined us today. And we may not be together in person, and we might not get to do that for a long time, but we can be together in spirit. I'm joined by many wonderful queer folks from all corners of our Fountain Street community in bringing you today's celebration. I sincerely hope that you enjoy it. I'm sure many of you have seen rainbows all over stores, stoops, and social media. Today, we're going to break down the colors of that classic 6-color rainbow pride flag. But that flag hasn't always looked that way. In 1977, Gilbert Baker was asked by famed LGBT+ activist Harvey Milk to come up with a symbol of pride for the gay community. Previously, the pink triangle was used as a symbol for the LGBT movement of the time, but it represented a very dark chapter in the history of same-sex rights. The pink triangle was created by the Nazis during World War II to identify and stigmatize homosexuals in the same way that the Star of David was used against Jews. Gilbert's original gay pride flag flew at the San Francisco Freedom Day Parade celebration on June 25th, 1978. Now that flag looked similar to the familiar rainbow flag, but it contained turquoise for magic and hot pink for sexuality. By 1979, both of those colors were dropped. Not only was there a shortage of appropriately colored fabric, but also the symbolic meanings didn't ring quite true. Specifically, the hot pink stripe representing sexuality was emblematic of a stereotype that queer people were sexual deviants. But queer love is about hearts, not parts. What's more, there's so much more to the queer community than base sexuality. Gender identity is a beautiful spectrum set apart from sexual and romantic attraction, and it's equally important to understanding the LGBTQIA+ experience. So from 1980 onward, the following 6 colors have served as the symbol for our community.
Good morning, Fountain Street Church. My name is Chip Wall.
And I am John Spalding.
And we've been asked today to talk to you about pride. And really, we're talking about the color of red, which in the gay pride flag represents life. So we kind of want to talk a little bit of what our life is like and where we've come from and where we're at today. So very obviously, we want to talk to you about us being a married couple. We are a married couple.
We are.
So with that comes love. Arguments,
discussions,
heated debates,
yes,
laughter,
yes,
crying,
on your part,
and supporting each other. But nonetheless, we're a couple.
Yes.
No more or no less than anyone else. And one of the things that we want to talk about is June. June has historically been Pride Month for us, and that means we go to Grand Rapids Gay Pride festivals. We've gone to
parades. We've gone to other festivals throughout the country. Yes.
And to celebrate what it means to be gay. And so we just want to talk about life. And for us, life is our marriage, is our being a couple and the things that we experience. So this is a far cry from what I think either one of us ever anticipated.
Absolutely.
It's been several years. We're not real young guys anymore, but what we thought of as teenagers and young people, I never envisioned that our life would be like it is today. So we're each going to talk a little bit about our past and where we're at today, and I think that's probably a good place to start. So if you want to just share a little bit about your earlier
Absolutely.
life.
So growing up in Southern California, a little bit more liberal, so to speak. A little bit more liberal. Brought up in a family that was very liberal. Growing up, having my mother being a hairdresser, I happened to be around a lot of gay people. Imagine that.
Huh.
I know, shocking. And so I was always around it, and so it was not shocking to my family to have a gay person in our family that we know of. I'm the only one. So being brought up in LA and having that melting pot. Even having that back in the 80s when I was a young teenager, we didn't have gay people on TV and gay musical artists and things like that. It just wasn't like it is now today. But I still knew that it was okay if I was gay with my family, with my friends. There were no issues or concerns about it. So it wasn't that big of a deal to my family.
So it wasn't that big of a deal in Southern California.
Correct. Now,
I, on the other hand, grew up in the bustling metropolis of the wonderful liberal community called Granville, Michigan, which if any of you know that, is ultra conservative. So I grew up in a very strict Republican Christian family. I heard rumors in high school about the fags and the queers, which were all meant to be negative and have still, to me this day, I know we use the word queer and it's accepted, but to me it still brings back some of those memories I had as a teenager. And I remember going to Granville High School, and I had 2 friends in a circle of friends, a wide circle of friends, 2 that had in their senior year admitted that they were gay. And they were ridiculed. It was terrible. They were bullied beyond what bullied is even considered in today's world. And I remember knowing what my truth was and thinking, wow, I just learned a lesson. I don't have the strength, and I didn't have the courage to say, I too am gay.
Yep.
So I decided I needed to suppress that. So I ended up choosing what to me seemed like an easier path. I got married and tried to live a straight life, but a gay man living a straight life wasn't working out real well for me.
Such a lie.
It was such a lie, and it was so disturbing, and I just felt miserable with it. So one day I finally woke up just feeling like I had nowhere to go. And it brought me to probably the worst chapter of my life. And that chapter was an attempted suicide. I just didn't feel like my life had value and that I could go on. I didn't feel that my family would support me, that anyone would ever love me.
Right.
So it was a failed attempt, which was good.
Thankfully.
I got help. I moved on. I got a divorce, and I divorced that shame and that self-hatred that I had for years.
Right.
And so it took a lot of work, went to therapy, turned my life around, felt great, and then I bounced into this man on an airplane. You want to tell about that?
Yeah. So we were both traveling on the same plane. I was heading from Minneapolis home to Tucson at the time, and I happened to end up sitting next to this one, and we kind of striked up a conversation, and never thinking anything about it, I never thought he might be gay or anything like that. It was just a conversation with the person next to me on the plane. We ended up talking the entire flight home. I think it was about 2.5, 3 hours, something like that.
I can hardly believe I could talk that long.
No, shocking. Yeah, I know.
But we did, and we hopped off the plane, and he asked me what I was doing for dinner that night, and I said I had no plans. I wasn't working till the next day, so we went out to eat, and as they say, the rest was history.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. Our life began then. How many years ago has it been?
Okay.
19.
19.
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
And our life has changed.
Yes,
Changed
dramatically.
Dramatically.
For the better.
For the better.
Yes.
We have 2 children. We have 2 boys.
Yep.
We love them dearly. We have a black son. We have a brown son. We have 2 beautiful daughter-in-laws. We now have 3 grandchildren.
3.
And we're thrilled that we're not called any kind of an acronym of a name of a grandfather. We're called the Grandpas.
Right.
And so we come as a set. So
Yep.
the Grandpas, our kids don't think anything of it. Our life is pretty much the dream that I thought would be so nice to someday live. And what year did we finally get married when it became legal? Was
2013 we got married. Yes.
So our life is just like everybody else's life. You know, there's ups, there's downs, there's arguing, there's smiling, there's laughing. But it's become so much richer than what either one of us ever thought.
I never thought as a child, as a young adult, I never thought in my lifetime that I would be able to get married legally to a man. I mean, you can always get married to a woman. I said that growing up my entire life, that I will never be able to have a wedding, a ceremony, be legally married to the person I love, because I just really didn't see it happening. And thankfully, in my lifetime, here we are. We are able to do that now, and we're very thankful for that.
Very happy. And you know, the thing that even to this day, when we're meeting, we recently moved into a newer home for us, and we're still meeting neighbors. And John will walk up, and I'll introduce myself and start carrying on with talking with a neighbor, and then John will walk up, and then I turn and I'll say, "And this is John." And you know, the old days, you know, the old feelings, I still want to say, "And this is my friend John."
My friend.
And and now I'm very proud to say, "This is my husband." And
yeah.
Sometimes there's a reaction, sometimes there's not. Don't really care. We live our life. It's our truth, and being honest and direct about it really is our way of celebrating our life. So
I think nowadays it is getting to be a lot more accepted. We don't have the shock and awe anymore that you would have had many years ago by saying my husband. And so thankfully it is a lot better.
A whole lot better. So
yes.
We just wanted to thank you for the opportunity just to share a little bit of our life and to tell you what we think pride is. And to us, pride is being married and being true to who we are and trying to live our lives the best we can. We're not perfect. No one is. Nope. We just strive every day to try to be a little bit better than we were the day before. And so
have a family.
You know, that we love, that we kids, adore. And as we always say about our family is that most of our family, we love them and we adore them. But then there's that other part of our family.
Which everybody has that.
That little part.
That little part.
We just ignore them.
Kind of go, yeah, them.
But that is life. So no matter, be it us, be it you, we've all got those friends or family that sometimes we do ignore. But nonetheless, we wanted to celebrate Pride, and this is one way we're celebrating it, letting you know that we have a life that we love, that we enjoy, that we're happy with.
Yep.
We think Fountain Street Fountain Street Church, a place where we can be who we are without any judgments and just being the guys that we are.
Accepted from day one.
From day one.
The day we walked into the church, we just knew there was something special there. And we're very excited and pleased and happy to be a part of the FSC family.
Yeah. So I think it's time for us to stop talking because we could talk for hours. So from both of the grandpas, we want to say we're proud. And we want to celebrate Pride, so happy Pride to each and every one of you. We stand in alliance with everyone that's out there that's felt oppressed or neglected. Together, we're always going to be a stronger community. Thanks for your time today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name's Kyla. I'm sure my name and pronouns are around here somewhere. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Orange Stripe for Healing. Unfortunately, many of us in the LGBTQIA+ community have had a difficult journey. We face many challenges as a whole and individually. This can start at a young age and will continue in the future. Healing is an important and I would say necessary step that may need to continuously happen. But how can we heal? What methods work? I can't tell you what works for everyone, but I can tell you what has helped me. Therapy. I'm a large proponent to therapy. I think it can benefit everyone, struggling or not. Therapy has helped me come out to friends, family, work, and even myself. It has been a blessing to have that person to walk through the struggles and celebrate the joys of life. The person that doesn't judge or dismiss, just listens and helps me heal. I was able to get over many of my struggles and barriers so I could come out fully, thanks to the healing powers of therapy. Groups. Support groups have been an integral part of my journey. You can talk about your struggles, and most people there will be able to understand because they have probably been through a similar, if not the same, scenario. Together as a group, we have helped each other heal and find resources when more is needed. This is where you might also meet a lot of your fam, those you form a close bond with and can talk to in greater depth. Look for groups in your area, like the Grand Rapids Pride Center. They can also help you find an affirming therapist. Healing is so much easier when you have a group helping you. Fam or allies. Finding people that can help and be close to you is very helpful to the healing process, especially if they have been through similar struggles. These may be people you met at a group, friends you had before, or just random people online you've never met in person. Not feeling alone is so helpful to the healing process. We need to help build each other up and support one another. To finish my portion, I want to share a poem with you I wrote and recorded it last year after hearing a good friend talk about her struggles and need for healing. Thank you. Dear friends, so many of my friends are struggling. What can I do? Anxiety, depression, dysphoria, I've struggled with them too. So many tears shed, with more to come. It's hard to hear when they say they wish their life was done. I would take away the pain if I just knew how. Please, friends, tell me, what can I do right now? Can I move the world or just be there for you in any way? I will take the day off work if you need me that day. I want to help. I'm here for you. Just let me know. Please don't hide your struggles. Please don't go. I'm crying just writing this because I care so much. You are loved, my friends. I would miss you so much. Please get in touch.
want to celebrate another day of life. Had my head on a dollar bill, and the dollar bill flew away. But the sun's shining down on me, and it's here to stay. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. Another day living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around and around and around. Well, I can't be bothered with sorrow, and I can't be bothered with hate, no, no. And I'm using up my time to feeling fine every day. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate. Oh, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day. Yeah. Oh, I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around, round, 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 and around, round, round, round.
What really counts is a person care. Does the person care about his city or her city? Is the person sensitive to the needs of people? And that's the only thing that counts. And that's what San Francisco's saying once again.
I just wanna celebrate. 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 I just wanna celebrate, celebrate.
We are a garden. Each person is a plant, swaying in the gentle wind, shaking and spreading our leaves, reaching for the loving warmth of the sun. This garden is diverse. Some of us blooming flowers, some of us tall, strong trees. But without any one of us, the garden would be much less beautiful. Some plants have been used by the LGBTQIA+ community for a variety of reasons, including signifying one's affections as well as representing an individual's identity. Roses have long been symbols of romance, regardless of sexual orientation. However, the idea of roses as a symbol for gay affection became a trend in Japanese media in the 1970s, having taken inspiration from Greek mythology. Myrtle flowers have long been associated with Greek figures like Adonis and Aphrodite, but have also been known for non-binary identity and attraction. The myrtle flower is shown on the diasporic flag and is as diverse as the non-binary people who claim it. The trillium flower, one that is protected here in the state of Michigan, is a symbol for bisexual and biromantic attraction. The trillium was adopted in 2001 as the center of the Mexican bisexual flag, and use of the trillium for the bisexual community has been supported by the creator of the original bisexual flag as well. Lilies are also a flower associated with female homosexuality. The trillium is a form of lily, and in the 1970s, feminist movements saw Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings of calla lilies as a symbol of lesbian eroticism. Lilies are also associated with the romance between women in other cultures, but can have varying meanings depending on color and type of lily. Once used as a derogatory term towards feminine queer people, the use of pansies has been to reclaim the term and change its meaning from insult to empowerment. Pansies are a flower with a wide variety of colors, making it as diverse as the communities it can represent. Green carnations were once seen as an unnatural color of carnation, but is in fact very natural, just like the gay men who wear it as a badge of their queerness. This trend was first started by Oscar Wilde, who wore green carnations as a symbol for men loving men. This particular color of carnation is found on the Achillean pride flag. Lavender is associated with the gay and lesbian communities alike. For many effeminate gay men, especially around the 1920s, derogatory terms and phrases like lavender boy and having a streak of lavender were thrown around to describe men showing femme interests or activities. Lavender was also claimed by lesbians in the late 1960s as a reclamation. The Lavender Menace was what Betty Friedan called an informal group protesting the exclusion of lesbians from the feminist and women's liberation movement, who she perceived as a threat to the National Organization of Women. Violets have long been associated with sapphic love and affection, thanks to the Greek poet Sappho. Violets have been used as a sign of sapphic love and sexuality since the 1600s, and can be found on the Sapphic pride flag. As these flowers are natural and beautiful, so are the people who claim them as theirs and use them to identify themselves and each other. Flowers come with stripes, spots, a plethora of color, and other various ways of being incredibly unique and treasurable, just like the LGBTQIA+ community itself. We are a garden, amazing, immeasurable, and beautiful.
Good morning, Fountain Street family, and happy Pride Month. For my section of the service today, I'm representing the indigo stripe in the original Pride flag, which is representative of harmony, and I will be leading us in a short meditation. So to begin, please find a comfortable position, maybe sitting in a chair, on a cushion like I'm doing, in the floor, even the grass if you're outside, anywhere that you can be relaxed and comfortable. To begin, start by creating an awareness of your breathing. Just breathe normally and feel your chest expand as your lungs fill with air. Bring your awareness to the breath that flows into your body and everywhere it connects, and as it flows back out. Let that awareness of your breath bring your awareness into your body, down to the place where your body connects with the seat or the floor, and trace that connection all the way down to the earth below it. Feel that connection to the earth. For just a few moments, let all of the thoughts of things you need to do, places you need to go, any distraction, just float away. If these thoughts happen to cross your mind, just acknowledge them and let them pass. Allow yourself to be truly here in this moment and only this moment. Allow yourself to relax and be held by the earth. Now I want you to bring to mind all of your loved ones, friends, family, whether they're physically near you at this time or not. They too are being held by the same earth. Imagine them experiencing the same sense of ease and contentment that you are now as you relax yourself into the embrace of the earth. Now I challenge you to bring to mind the difficult ones, the strangers, the people who you may disagree with, even people who have hurt you. They too are held by this earth. Try, without judgment, without discrimination or with bias, to imagine them also physically and mentally at ease. And if you find yourself tensing or becoming distracted over this, just return to that awareness of your body, your connection with the earth. Let the earth embrace you and ease you. Now we're taking this moment to recognize the deep interconnectedness of all beings on Earth, from the smallest single-cell plants to the largest and most complex of animals. Our bodies, the sun, the earth, the stars, we're all composed of the same matter, the same atoms arranged in nearly infinite ways. The entire universe is one interconnected symphony of life. So allow yourself to dwell on your place in this great orchestra. Feel your sense of belonging. Now, in the current moment, with the state of the world as it is, it reminds us that this orchestra can be disrupted. The beautiful symphony of life on Earth can be sent spiraling into a cacophony of sounds, and it's uncomfortable. But if we all recognize this imbalance and we play our part to do what we can to restore the harmony, it will be restored. Earth always finds her balance. The universe always finds balance. And we will all once again enjoy the harmonious symphony that the universe is intended to be. So I leave you today, I hope, with a feeling of connectedness and belonging to all of the earth, to all beings. Namaste, and happy Pride.
Please join me in taking a few deep breaths. Feel the breath coming into your lungs, your belly, filling you. Pause and notice the feeling of fullness it offers. Then exhale and feel the breath leaving your body. Notice the feeling of emptiness, of need. As you continue to focus on your breathing, remember and know that the word for wind, for breath, for spirit is the same word. And as you join one another in shared breaths across computer screens and mobile devices, please join me in a shared spirit of prayer. Ever-moving, uniting spirit, you are welcome here. As we breathe you in, may we be reminded not only of your divinity, but also of our own. You become part of us, we become part of you, together we become part of something bigger. We invite you into the far-flung space of our physically distant community, gathered together, yet apart. Keep moving among us, within us, through us. ever-moving, disruptive spirit, seep into our warm, comfortable places like a cold draft in winter. Keep us uncomfortable enough to be attentive, to get up, to stand up. Blow strongly with storm winds of resistance to disrupt our stagnancy. Stir up enough chaos that the repressive dust may be lifted and cleaned up. With deeper knowledge than ever before about the power of a single exhalation, keep us mindful of how we channel our breath, our voice, our power. Ever-moving, healing spirit, soothe us like a refreshing breeze on a warm day. Nourish our hope, inspire our courage, fuel our rage about injustice, comfort our grieving hearts. Spirit of life, of most intimate breath, fill us with your ever-moving power. Call our attention to when we have enough, and more than enough. Spirit of all that is holy, empty our bodies, our church, our community and world of the toxicity we just can't seem to exhale. Rid us of racism. Purge us of homophobia, of transphobia, sexism, ableism, ageism, anti-environmentalism, classism, colonialism, religious imperialism, and anything else that limits the life and breath and flourishing of our neighbor. Ever-moving, life-sustaining spirit, flow into those who are grasping for more air. Move us to create space or relinquish space so that all may breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in again with the spirit of pride and riotous love urging us forward. Amen.
Since 1979, the six-stripe rainbow flag has become an international symbol for the queer community. So as a community that's consistently evolving and updating and improving, the changes haven't stopped. For example, in 2017, the Philadelphia Office of LGBT Affairs unveiled a new pride flag, complete with black and brown stripes. These colors represent inclusivity and diversity, and they were added to address the intersectionality of race and queerness. This is just one of many updates to the pride flag created over the years to address the ever-evolving needs of our community. Not to mention the many pride flags emblematic of specific identities under the LGBT+ umbrella. So, no matter which flag we fly, all of us in the queer community truly make up a whole beautiful spectrum of colors, identities, and hearts.
Good morning, Fountain Street Church, and good morning, West Michigan, and happy Pride Sunday. Whenever we talk about pride or the celebration of pride, we remember the immense love and inclusiveness that coincides with it. Here at Fountain Street Church, we have been making those steps towards that kind of inclusion for a long time, and yet it seems to be something that's like an exercise that we keep working towards even more as we look to the future. Of the many ways in which we can exercise love and hospitality and support for our community is the offering that we take every week. Specifically, I've often called offering love in action, because it is truly a tangible way in which we express our love and our hope for justice and greater inclusion in a way that we know has a rippling effect throughout our community. Every week we take the offering, and we know that 50% of that money goes directly back out into community organizations, and including those that all revolve around the issues of pride and inclusion. Things like the Pride Center or Project Red or the Trans Foundation. And 50% stay here so that we can continue our work towards justice and inclusion in ways that keep our ministry and our legacy alive. And so with the spirit of that pride among all of us and that spirit of inclusion and of course love and action tangibly, we now take the offering, which you can do electronically through text message or by sending a special gift for this Pride Sunday to the church office. With that spirit of love, will you now join me in taking the offering?
Thank you, all of you, for joining us today. This Pride Month is a weird one and a difficult one. The world is a tumultuous place, and it's hard to feel like now's a good time for Pride. But Pride was never about parades and feather boas. Pride has always been about protest, and now may be the perfect opportunity for us to recenter the way that we celebrate Pride Month. So this Pride Month, try skipping the corporate Pride events and merchandise. Instead, support Black queer artists and Black-owned small businesses. Or donate to a community bail fund near you. If you miss Pride parades, consider attending a socially distanced demonstration in support of Black lives. Remember that whether you're a member of the queer community or an ally, you can live every month like it's Pride Month. Fly your flag, proudly. Let your true colors shine. Be truly proud of yourself and your queerness and the queerness of people in your life and around you. That in itself is a radical action. Our mission at Fountain Street Church is to free the mind, grow the soul, and change the world. And together, now more than ever before, we can do that, and so much more. Thank you again for joining us, and I wish a happy, healthy, and safe Pride Month to all of you.
Another day of life. Put my faith in the people, but the people let me down. So I turn the other way and I carry on anyhow. That's why I'm telling you I just wanna celebrate, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Had my hand on a dollar bill and the dollar bill flew away. Another day living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around and around and around. And I can't be bothered with hating, no. And I'm using up my time to feeling fine every day. That's why I'm telling you I just want to celebrate. Oh, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day. Yeah. Oh, I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no. Don't let it turn you around.
What really counts is a person care. Does a person care about his city or her city? Is a person sensitive to the needs of people? And that's the only thing that counts. And that's what San Francisco's saying once again.
I just want to celebrate. 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 too. Prisoner of my mind, I'll admit to. Never thought I could buck the status quo. You know it takes guts to let it all go. 'Cause in my mind, I'm free. The music's there for you and me. Let the rhythm take control. Check it out and watch your life unfold. Because I'm free, free, free. 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 Oh yeah. Free, free, free. Free, free, free. I'm so free. Hey, yeah. Woo, hey, hey. Ow. Yeah. Wow. I'm so free. Free, free, free. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. So free, yeah. Well, ow. Free.